So, I wasn't going to talk about this because it says strictly private and confidential, but everyone else is talking about it, so I guess here we go. Hello everyone and welcome to our first glimpse at the future for Jurassic World Evolution 2. This post popped up on Reddit Sunday afternoon, posted by user NickFolt1. This appears to be a screenshot of Frontier Development's annual or quarterly report, which a business shares internally with employees and possibly with outside stakeholders, just to keep everyone up to date on what's going on with the company, mostly financially. If you haven't seen video coverage of this yet, I can sum it up really quickly for you. It confirms multiple DLCs are coming in 2022 for Jurassic World Evolution 2. While that confirmation is nice, it's certainly not surprising. I would have been shocked if the announcement had been any different, so in that regard, how strictly private and confidential was this to begin with? But anyway, most of the text just recaps what's been released for Jurassic World Evolution 2 so far, and what a success it has been for the company. The interesting information, and what I will be delving into in this video, is the very last paragraph. It reads, "The Jurassic World Dominion film releases on June 10th, 2022, and will provide a great opportunity for our game with the publicity that will come from the film. Multiple exciting PDLC packs are planned for 2022. So it mentions Jurassic World Dominion and how the release of the movie is expected to boost their game sales thanks to all the publicity, and to really capitalize on that publicity, they will be releasing multiple PDLCs. PDLC stands for Premium Downloadable Content, but the P may as well stand for paid downloadable content, because that's what it boils down to. I personally really don't have any trouble or any issue with paid DLCs. I know some people do, I don't. I'm perfectly fine with paying extra for extra content, as long as that is extra content, and that's where we might run into a bit of an issue here. This pretty much confirmed what I feared, that the Dominion DLC will be a paid DLC, one of multiple. By mentioning the movie and PDLCs in the same paragraph, grouping them together like that, and by omitting any mention of free content, it's about as confirmed as you can expect, short of seeing it pop up in stores and on Steam. I strongly suspect that Dominion content was supposed to be part of the base game and was pulled when the movie was delayed to a release date after the launch of the game. This is not a unique or controversial take of the situation, this is pretty much what everyone else thinks as well. That doesn't make it the gospel truth, but there is some sound logic here that makes it very probable. I think the incredibly short campaign with its shockingly abrupt ending is evidence of that, not to mention the empty slot, so to speak, for the Dominion Chaos Theory mode. The game feels like it's missing something. Dominion content was allegedly cut to avoid spoilers for the movie, but I doubt the price was adjusted accordingly. It was already a very expensive game to begin with, something that received quite a lot of backlash, judging by comments that I personally got on my many videos covering all of the news leading up to the game's launch. Was it seriously going to be even more expensive because it would have had more content, the Dominion content? I very much doubt that. And we'll talk about the price tag for that extra content in a bit. Now, for that reason, I've said since the start that at the very least, the rest of the campaign, assuming and hoping there is the rest of the campaign, should get added for free, because it feels like it was kinda already included in the base price, given that it was probably supposed to be in the base game. It appears, however, that that will not be the case. It looks like all added content will be paid content, and that is disappointing in my opinion. I know people don't like me being critical of this game, but sometimes I have to be. It doesn't mean I'm shitting on it or Frontier. I just want it to be the best it can be, so I gotta call it like I see it. I'm not mad, Frontier. I'm disappointed. So what kind of price tag can we expect? Well, first of all, presumably we will get an expansion of the campaign. Hopefully we will, because paid or not, I need more from that game mode, since challenge mode really isn't my jam, and Chaos Theory was a bit underwhelming. It's also pretty obvious that we're getting a Dominion Chaos Theory story to complete the set. That only makes sense. And it seems a given that the DLC will include some dinosaurs that make their franchise debut in Dominion, as well as possibly some alternate models getting added for dinosaurs that we already have in the game, but look different in the movie. Now that last bit probably already sounds familiar, right? Alternative movie accurate models, or more movie accurate models, is what we got with the Return to Jurassic Park DLC for the first game at the end of 2019. And that DLC's price tag is, I think, what we can count on for a Dominion DLC. Return to Jurassic Park also came with an extra bit of story campaign and a couple of new dinosaurs. Of course, it didn't introduce the equivalent of a new Chaos Theory, but it did give us the Jurassic Park era in challenge mode, providing more gameplay in that way. All things considered, the Jurassic Park DLC arguably has the same value as the as of yet hypothetical Dominion DLC, which makes it a safe assumption that the prices will be comparable. For those who don't know, we're talking about $20 here. The Dominion DLC might even be a tad more expensive, taking into account that the base game was more expensive than the first, as were the dinosaurs of the early Cretaceous pack compared to the dinosaurs in the dinosaur packs of the first game. If you divide the total price of the early Cretaceous pack by the number of dinosaurs in that pack, you end up with a higher price for the individual dinosaurs than if you divide the pack price of the first game by 3, the number of dinosaurs included in those packs. So this indicates that Frontier overall values their content for the new game as higher than the content for the first game. The Dominion DLC might not exceed the price tag of Return to Jurassic Park if they go for more strategic pricing, aware of the kind of criticism that I'm giving them right now, so they might not dare to go above $20. I have let go of my naive expectations or hopes that it might be free. At this point, I'm just hoping that they'll at least go easy on us where pricing is concerned and take these kinds of criticisms that I've discussed in this video into account. But I'm not expecting them to drop the price below a minimum of $15, considering that the early Cretaceous pack was already $8, so we're definitely getting more than just 4 creatures in this Dominion DLC, so it seems only logical to that extent that it is going to be quite a bit more expensive. It just feels, or rather tastes a little sour, knowing that, if all of this stuff that's going on in the world hadn't happened and Dominion had just released when it was supposed to release, then we probably would have had all of this content in the base game. That is my belief, at least. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that assumption, but that feels logical to me. That the game that was planned to release along with the movie included all of the content that related to that movie. Now, please know that I'm not saying that all of this Dominion content isn't worth our money. I think that if we are getting what I think we're getting, that's very valuable content that I'm very excited to have in the game, and I would definitely consider that worth my money. My only concern here is, and that's what I'm trying to get across, my concern here is that maybe we've already paid in part for that content that we're going to get presented as extra content. That is the point I'm making here. Let me know what you think about all of this in a comment down below. Do you agree that this basically confirms that all of the content will be paid content? What do you think about that? What do you think the paid content will include? Let's just keep the discussion going in the chat. But I want to end this video on a positive note. At least we know for sure that we have plenty of new content coming our way for Jurassic World Evolution 2 this year. And I'm sure that along with the paid content, we're also going to get awesome free updates. Like the free update that we got a little while ago that ported all of the campaign maps over to Sandbox, added rock purchase for the flying reptiles, stuff like that. So there is a ton of stuff to get excited about. If you want to stay up to date on all of that, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.